Hello and welcome everybody. Welcome back. I hope everybody had a great weekend and I hope you all have a great week going ahead. Now I do apologize on being a day late with this, but life happens. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this week's Toriko, which came out yesterday on Weekly Shonen Jump and which came out last week for everybody who reached the scanlation sites. So this one is Toriko 226 and it's called Gourmet versus Tommy Ride in our translations. So basically where it continued off from last week is the fight with Tamirad and Sunny is still continuing. And we see Tamirad is taking off his sleeves and he's getting ready to fight Sunny himself. And he says that, I don't leave the fighting to my bugs for any particular reason. It's just a hassle for me to do the fighting. And what we see next is that he destroys his insect parasite, and he says that any bug that can't do its job is trash. That one was in the way. I guess I'll take you on myself. It's rare for someone to force me to go all out, but that someone needs a haircut. And yeah, Tamarad, I mean, his facial expressions in this chapter, yeah, they're pretty amazing. And we see here Sunny's hair. Satan's hair is glowing, and he makes he makes the first strike, and he cuts off his left arm, and Sunny says, you chop off my hair, son. I think you might have needed an arm for that." Oh man! And so what we see here is that Tamarad is saying this power. I knew it. And it goes on to explain that during the battle against the four beasts, the four kings launched a new attack, meal fit for a king. The pure appetite released from their bodies was the shape of their gourmet cells' energy. The attack also served as the stimulus to awaken the demon. And what we see here in that picture is it looks like a little pot. And in this pot, we see something, um, let's just say it's like Sonny's hair coming out this little pot, like it was sealed in and now the cap has been released. And so what it's saying is that, let me continue on, that had lain dormant within their gourmet cells all along. Now's my chance. So this is the hair talking. It says, now's my chance. I've been uncorked. So it's okay, right? You don't mind me coming out, do you? And what we see next is that Sunny himself couldn't understand the true nature of the demon awoken because of meal fit for a king. But it was clear that this power and what Sunny's saying now is that he's just shown himself a little, and the energy is so overwhelming. I feel like my entire being's going to be drained. I think I'm going to pass out was not something he could have controlled at the moment. So what we see here, this new power, was just awakened, which comes from the appetite energy which they used during the four beasts. And now, Sonic, he can't control it. He doesn't have complete mastery over it yet, and it's very, it takes a lot to use these brand new abilities. And what Sonny's saying is that I can't last long with my hair like this. I have to settle this fight in one blow. And he goes to finish off Tamarad, and Tamarad is noticing that his reflexes are fast. And so he's scampering about, he's dodging the attacks, and and, Son- and Son is known as like, yeah, he's so fast. He's like, fine, then I won't give you any place to run. So he tries to, and so next we go to and we see we get some more explanation about Tamarats and his abilities. And it goes on to explain that most arthropods, including insects, possess compound eyes. They are made up of many small photoreceptors, each of which reflects a separate part of a whole scene. Compound eyes are found on most insects capable of flight. A fly's eyes contain roughly 6,000 photoreceptors. It's said that dragonflies have over 20,000. Those eyes don't even compare to Tommy's. The number of individual photoreceptors making up Tommy's compound eyes is 1 million. And the visible rays they can pick up include even the weakest of electromagnetic waves. In other words, Tommy's eyes could see Sonny's sensors. He's struggling to control that hair, otherwise he wouldn't bundle it to attack. He can't handle that power well enough to manipulate his hundreds of thousands of strands separately. And we see here, and continuing on, Tom Wright's still dodging the attacks. He says, I don't care how powerful you are, it's a piece of cake to dodge your newbie sensors. And he's pretty excited right now doing this battle. I mean, if you look at his Tommy Wright's expressions, he's definitely enjoying himself. And we see here that Sonny does a dining kitchen. And then Tommy Wright counters with a bomb egg storm. And so, and Sonny does his hair spit. Oh man. And so what we see here is something that comes up behind Sonny, and that's the arm that he cut off of Tommy Rod. And he notices that he said it's got ganglions like an insect. It's still alive. And what Tommy Rod is knowing is that all you did was increase the number of enemies by 1. That arm alone probably has a capture level of no less than 200. So we see here that with that arm alone, that the capture level is at the very least 200. And right now it's choking Sonny. And Tommy Rod is going in for the kill. He's saying, here's my chance. And he begins the assault. And yeah, he begins a very devastating assault with some right, left combinations. A lot of facial punches. And he even bites. Yeah, he bites Sonny, people. And then the final move is that he does he puts his right hand through Sonny around his stomach to chest area. And so what we see here, if you look, you see Sonny. Obviously he has a lot of blood coming out of his mouth and the surrounding areas. You see that pot again, and that pot, you see a little light around that pot. And Tommy Rod is getting ready for the finishing moves. And now it ends, and we see some hair coming out the pot. And now you see Tommy Rod is frozen. He's noticed that his hand won't move. So it's not just my hand, it's my whole body. And what we see Sonny saying, at last, I've gained control. I knew it would take a while to control hair I'm not used to. And that's his hair marionette. I have full reign over your nerves now. And Sonny, yeah, he makes a pretty epic face right there in that scene when he's explaining that. And Tommy Rod notices that he's saying that don't tell me the hair he's not used to controlling isn't that dangerously powerful hair. It's the hair that was cut off even after being severed from their nerves still work, just like in insects' ganglions. He manipulated them remotely. And Sonny goes on and says that I knew that your left arm was still alive. That gave me a valuable hint. My ability has a limit to its range. But if I can move my severed hairs, then even enemies kilometers away can be conquered without them noticing. including somebody like you who can't sit still for a second. And so what Sonny, he continues to explain that Satan here was a pain to control. He won't deny. Even now, he notes that the damage that he's taken, including the tunnel, which he dug right through him, and that he'll have to get his stomach operated on real soon. And so Sonny is saying, what do you say we wrap this up? Gourmet Court Vice Chef Tommy Ride. And then Tommy Ride noticed, he says here, Sonny of the Four Kings. How can this be? It's so good. Something about this fight reminds me of Toriko. I feel excited, refreshed. Is what Tommy Ride is noting. And Sonny's like, oh, I actually do too. I thought you were a little turd for relying on the bug so much. But there are few who can stab me, and you're the first person to even rip out this much of my hair. And so what we see here is that they're going to have a final showdown. And Sonny's saying, I'll show you my respect. I can't control my severed hair for very long. You'll be free to move again soon enough. Get it? When that moment comes, it's a sign to draw your sword. And that's the very end of the chapter. So what we have here was a very, very exciting continuation of the fight between Tommy Ride and Sonny. And we got to learn a lot of information, not only about Sonny's Satan hair and that, I was saying that, that this was his appetite energy last week. And we can pretty much assume here that this is how it's going to play out for the rest of the Four Kings, because obviously the next level for them is appetite energy attacks. So we see it with Sonny and how powerful that attack, how devastating that attack can be with his Satan hair. I mean, like I explained last week, spanning throughout the entire, it'll just expand from Earth all the way to Venus and to Mars and Jupiter, to fulfill his hunger. And Tommy Ride with his left arm being cut off, and with that being a capture level of 200, at least just shows you how powerful, everyone is within their symbol of the Four Kings and then the Gourmet Court. So, the final will be next week, or for everybody else, it'll be tomorrow, so everybody will get to see, either, because Toriko usually comes out very late on, it's the last one to come out from the Shonen Jump, so, I believe everybody should be able to see it tomorrow, late Wednesday night tomorrow sometime. So everybody will get to, see how this concludes. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. I'm just going to look and see because both are very determined right now to survive. So we're just going to wait and see. I hope everybody enjoyed this review of Toriko. Like I say, I do apologize for being a day late, but like I said, life happens. That when there's nothing you can do, there's nothing you can do, but you just have to continue to move forward. Take care, everybody.